Dear student, myself Rajendra Aseri, I am Assistant Professor in Computer Science Department at Government Bangad PG College, Didwana. In the previous lecture, we have discussed various concepts about database and management system. We already discussed the need of use of the database system. Before database system existence, we used to perform our tasks with help of file handling system or file system. But in file, there are various issues, various drawbacks are there, like data redundancy, data isolation, data inconsistency, concurrency problems are there. Clear? So to avoid or to remove all those problems, we go towards the database systems, right? After that, we have discussed various views of the data, various level of abstraction of the data, like physical level, clear, logical level, and view level. Okay. Now in today's lecture, we will be focusing on some new concept like instances and schema, data models, types of model, data manipulation language, what is the meaning of this, and what actually we do in DML, data definition language, and relational model, a typical sample of the relational database. All these concepts we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So starting with the first topic is instances and schema. Okay. So instances and schema, basically these are similar to data type and variable in programming language. Dear student, if you remember in the C programming lecture series of mine, we have discussed various data type like int, float, char, double, clear, and various variable we can use in a programming language. So similarly here we are using instances and schema. So we can say these are similar to data type and variable in programming language. Okay. Now what do you mean by schema? So schema is basically the logical structure of the database. It indicates the relationship between various attribute, okay, various columns, and there are various rows or various tuples are there in the database. So example, the database consists of information about a set of customer and accounts and the relationship between them. So all these things. So here if you see customer and account are the entity and the relationship between them. If we say that all these in combined form are called as logical structure of the database, and further it is known as the schema. Clear? Now, it is analogous to type information of a variable in a program. Okay, data type information of the we can say in a programming language. Similarly, they are clear. We can say physical schema. It is database design at the physical level. Third one is logical schema, database design at the logical level. So we can say schema is basically of two type. First is physical schema and second is logical schema. So if we are focusing only the logical relationship between the various entity, then it is related to logical schema. If we describe the relation in much depth, level of abstraction is very low, clear, then we can say it is database design at the physical level. So it will be physical schema. Okay. So this is all about the schema. So again, if I summarize the schema, then it is basically a logical structure of the database. It can be of physical or it can be of logical. Now instance, suppose I have a relational table, customer table. In the customer table there are two fields, customer id and customer name, and five customer entries are there. So it is a table of 5 into 2, 5 rows are there and 2 columns are there, right? Now at a time, the actual content of the database at a particular point of time is called as instance of the database. Clear? Now it is analogous to the value of a variable. Suppose in a programming language I am writing int x equal to 5. After 3 or 4 line of this program, I am writing int x equal to 4. So at particular instance, initially the x value was 5, first instance. In the second instance, the x value become 4. So at particular time, whatever the actual content of the database is called as instance of the database. Clear? Now physical data independency. The ability to modify the physical schema without changing the logical schema is called as physical data independence. If we are changing only in the logical schema but without modifying the physical schema, then it is called as physical data independence. Now applications depend on the logical schema, or in general we can say the interfaces between the various levels and components should be well defined so that changes in some part do not seriously influence the others. Okay, now next topic is data models. So what do you mean by data model? It is basically a collection of tools for describing data, relationship among the data, data semantics. Semantics means the meaning of the data, and last is data constraint. If we are applying some conditions on the data, then that is data constraint. Suppose I am saying I am having a account, I am holding account, and there is a field balance. So balance should be greater than 0. So it is a constraint that balance should always be positive. Okay. So now in relational model there are various type of concept like entity relationship data model. In entity relationship data model there are various entities are there. Among the entities the relationship is there. Okay, and it is used mainly for the database design. Next one is object based data model. In object based, it is using OOPS concept or object oriented and object relational concept. Semi structured data model, it is using XML extended markup language. Okay, and there are some other older models are there, network model, hierarchical model. Okay, so basically 4 to 5 data models are there. Mainly used model is relational model. And what actually model is, it is containing 4 ingredient: data, data relationship, data semantics, and data constraint. Most popular data model is relational model. Second is, which is used for the database design, is entity relationship data model. Uh, we will be discussing this ER data model in detail in the upcoming lecture. Object based data model, semi structured data model based on XML concept, network model, and hierarchical model are some other model. Now next is, just I am briefing about the data manipulation language. Means in order to access the database there are various type of languages. So various modules are there. Most popular language is SQL, structured query language, and in SQL there are various different modules. So and they are intended for the different purposes. So first is data manipulation language, DML. As the name implies, if we want to manipulate the data, update the data, modify the data, or if we want to make some changes in the existing data, then data manipulation language comes into role. Now, languages for accessing and manipulating the data organized by the appropriate data model. DML also known as query language. Okay. Now there are two classes for these languages: procedural and second is non-procedural or declarative. Now what is procedural? In this, user specify what data is required and how to get those data. What and how means you should know what you want from the database and how we are going to access those data. So method also known in procedural. Okay, declarative, that is non-procedural. In this, user specify what data is required without specifying how to get those data. Okay, now SQL is the most widely used query language. SQL is structured query language. It is a most widely used query language. Okay. Next is DDL, that is data definition language. Now in data definition language, it says about specification notation for defining the database schema. Clear? In the database there are various entity. In a particular entity there are various attribute, and every attribute is having some, we can say, data type, range is there. Okay, so if I am saying that I am creating a structure of the table, then it is related to data definition language. Example, suppose I want to create a account table having two field, account number and balance. Then how to write down? In DDL, create table. Create table is the command. Create table. After that, table name I am here picking is account. Now in the parenthesis I have to write down all the attribute with their data type. So first attribute is account hyphen number, first attribute name space, data type is char. In bracket I have to write down the length 10. Okay, comma, second attribute name is balance and the data type is integer. Okay, now DDL compiler generates a set of table stored in a data dictionary. So DDL compiler is having the responsibility to generate a set of tables stored in the data dictionary. Now what is data dictionary? Data dictionary contains metadata. Metadata we can say data about data. Okay, now what it contains? It contains database schema already you know the structure of the table. Second, data storage and definition language, which specify the storage structure and access methods used. Next, integrity constraint. It can be on various columns. It can be on domain constraint. It can be referential integrity. Referential integrity I will be explaining when I will explain the concept of foreign key. Okay. References constraint in SQL. Adjacent also used in triggers. And next one is authorization. If I want to give some restriction to the table or a particular column of the table, then authorization plays an important role, and authorization comes under DDL, data definition language. Okay, so again I am summarizing. In DML we mainly focus on the manipulation. In DDL we mainly focus on the describing the structure, describing the storage and definition of the particular table. Various type of integrity constraint specification like domain constraint, referential integrity constraint, adjacence, and giving the permission or just restricting the permission or authorization access. Next is relational model. In a relational model, it is basically a tabular format in which there are some rows and some column. The column name is called as attribute. So here if you see the, if I am giving the name of this relation is suppose customer, the name of the relation is customer, table name. In this customer table there are 5 field or 5 column or 5 attribute. Clear? So if I say first attribute is customer ID, second is customer name, third is customer street, customer city, and account number. If you see there are total 7 rows are there. So 7 rows or 7 tuples are there. Okay, so it is basically a table of 7 into 5, 7 rows and 5 column. Okay, so in relational model, one or two attribute, combination of one attribute or more than one attribute will be the key. Now what is key? You will come to know about key in detail in the upcoming lecture. Clear? So in this lecture just assume that customer ID is the key, because all the rows in customer ID column are unique. It means based on this customer ID we can differentiate between various customer. Every customer is having a unique ID, so customer ID become a key, and in this case primary key. What is primary key and all the other form of the other type of the key, you will come to know in the upcoming lecture, right? So this is basically relational. In relational model the data is in the form of table. Okay, next, a sample relational table. If you see I have given here 3 example: customer table, second is account table, and third one is depositor table. So in this example there are various relations. First relation is customer, second is account, and third one is the depositor table. So if you see in the first relation there are 4 fields, right? Customer ID, customer name, customer street, and customer city. And in the first customer table, customer relation, there are 6 rows. Okay. Second is account table. In account table there are 2 fields and there are 7 tuple. Similarly, third is depositor table, customer ID and account number is there. Okay. That's all from this lecture. In the upcoming lecture, we will be focusing on more concept in detail about the database. Thank you.